if you don't have the budget to buy new Lego set just like me, the best thing is to open some retired Lego sets. So I'm going to build this Lego Hobbit set today. So I bought this a few years ago. Of course, it's long retired. And based on the poll I did on my YouTube community, and this is the winner compared to the other retired set that I have. So, if I can't buy new sets, right, why not just keep opening stuff from my backlog, because I'm not actively investing. So here we are. Let's start opening it, and I just wipe off some value, but well, those values only if you can liquidate or sell the set. It makes sense. Otherwise, it's just number. But Lego, right, is really you buy it for your own enjoyment. Of course, I'm not saying that you should not invest. If you want to invest, then you invest. But for me, right, it's always my own collection. So there are lots of brown pieces. Hopefully, I don't get some brittle brown syndrome. So let's see how it goes. As I say, small set, so I think I can finish it tonight. Because it's released in 2014, doesn't have the QR code, so I can't scan the instructions. So let's get started. So it's only two big bags of Lego. So let's just put the box aside, and then we can start building it. To be honest, I never run into the brittle brown syndrome at all. So touch wood, and because the plan is, after I finish building this, I'm going to do a review of this set. So if something broken, I need to find the replacement part, and hopefully it doesn't happen, because the back kind of looks a little bit cloudy. I guess it's because it's been in the box for too long. Originally, I bought this to build it, but back then my room already ran out of space, and keep buying a lot more Lego sets, so I'm gonna start building this one. But it has some really cool minifigures. Although the structure itself looks really simple, but it's going to be quite useful for other things, of course. Hopefully, bricks are all okay. I do worry things are broken. But just even a few years ago, like if you look at the instruction booklet, like the way that they organize the steps and stuff, it's quite different as well. So anyway, I'm pretty sure if this set kind of release today, there will be a lot more smaller pieces, more expensive, of course. But how it's structured, rather than having just two big bags, probably have like 4 or 5 number bags, and kind of one minifigure each. That's how it's going to be. Just need to make sure that I don't mixed up the minifigure parts, because this minifigure is going to be useful for me to continue to film my minifigure shots. It's a little bit tight. Let's just hope it doesn't crack at all, because if it's cracked, then it's going to be disaster. Anyway, so I've got what's the character name of this one? Tario. Yes. Excuse me for this, because while I know the Lord of the Rings and watch the movies, not necessarily like keep repeating it. So some of the characters, I tend to forget the name. Like I look at that, not the Lego minifigure, but like if you get me an image of that character and the actress, yeah, I know this character. What role was she playing and stuff. But if it's suddenly just throw me a minifigure, ask me to recall like who's this minifigure is, I can't recall. Anyway, like a little bit worrying, because some of the stuff quite high. Maybe I should give up filming the minifigures videos for a couple of them, because I do run the risk of breaking it. And even I reach out to Lego, I wasn't able to get the replacement. They tell me, hey, try third party or aftermarkets like Bricklink and stuff. But even that now in New Zealand, you have to pay GST for your purchase. That means it's gonna be a little bit more pricey. That like if you just need a few sets, first you need to find a seller. Well, if the local seller has it, then that's good. But if we don't have any local seller that sell the particular part that you want to replace, then you reach out or search for some reputable seller outside New Zealand. Then, you know, usually if it's overseas, then the shipping quite expensive. So it will be a pretty big challenge to get those parts, and it's quite stressful anyway. It's really a little bit tight, and let's hope things doesn't crack. That's why when you buy Lego set, try to open it and build it as soon as possible. Which means that if you ran out of storage, then maybe you should consider either selling some of the old one or stop buying new sets. But it's hard, right? As you know, if we start collecting something, it's not easy to let something go. Anyway, we're gonna start by building a small boats. Obviously, even just actually 2014. That means like 10 years. This set has been released for 10 years because it's 2024 this year right now. So I thought, hey, only a few years, but actually not. Like it's 10 years. Of course, the way um, this little structure being built is quite different because if you compare, let's say 5 years, even 5 years, um, the approach of the sets, even the small sets, they tend to use a lot more smaller pieces and try to give it a little bit more textures and detail, unless you're buying a 4+ junior sets. Otherwise, um, you know they have less big pieces, and when with sets like this, they tend to go a little bit more detail compare as we progress into the future. Um, so yeah, it's very simple build. I don't think they will use this design if they we release some of this set. So first we're gonna build one of the structure, because there's one big structure, so we kind of um, build it separate parts. Just need to be extra careful. Don't give it too much pressure. The thing is, after building this out, because how it looks, it's very unlikely I'm gonna put on a shelf, or maybe I could use it to combine with some other sets. But because there's so many brown pieces, I'm really worried that I might end up breaking some stuff. Anyway, I need to use the smaller pieces. A bit oily, I think. I think it's really just to do with the heat and storage. Funny enough, when I open like some of the old set from my childhood, like those sets probably like over 25 or 30 years, the bricks doesn't feel like, hey, the quality has deteriorated. Like compared to this one, it's like it's very, very, well, not very, very, but you know what I mean. Um, the, I feel like the really old set have a much better quality. I'm not saying this is bad quality, because if you compare to lots of um, knockoff or clone brands or other legit brand making plastic bricks like um, this is still very good quality plastic. Uh, it's just that compared to the older days Lego, of course the plastic compositions is slightly different. I'm not expert on it, just commenting based on uh, the information that I learned. But yeah, composition of the plastic probably have changed, even though it might look the same. That result in different quality of it. But yeah, definitely the older set, the very very old set has way more durable plastic than the common ones. I can't comment on the new ones yet because if the new ones only been released like 2 or 3 years, then you can't really tell uh, the deterioration of the plastic. Uh, but for sets like 10 years, like every decade, then each decade, then you might see a little bit or noticeable difference. But anyway, this says it's not like I think if I open something like from the 1990s, then it's like big set, but you don't get actually that many pieces. But if I open a set that has a similar box size but released like let's say last year or this year, then you get way more pieces just because Lego likes to use a lot more smaller pieces nowadays because it allows you to create a lot more details from the set, even though the set can be small, uh, which is a good thing, right? If you're looking for, especially if, as an adult, if you're looking for details, then you know the use of small bricks makes more sense. But of course, if you're looking for, targeting for children to play with it, then you might not want that many small pieces because it might get lost, or the building experience might end up becoming quite frustrating for younger kids. Of course, there are younger kids with the patience to build towards that, but probably the majority of it will get bored or frustrated if there are too many small pieces. But yeah, so far it's just a typical Lego set around this size. I think again, buying license sets most of the time, especially if you're not buying the D2C, really one of the sell point is just the minifigures, right? I am a minifigure guy, so I usually buy set for minifigures, and because I don't actively build my own creation, so even though there are lots of parts, but I don't usually utilize it that much. So with sets like this, um, even though I would have my opinion whether it's good or not, but at the end of the day, most likely they just end up in a container, not being touched for a long, 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 long time. So here is actually an action feature, so that if you turn the leveler behind it, this thing will fall out. Okay. Okay. Yep. I'm not going to do it now. We'll just leave it as it is. Just want to finish the build first, and it's it's really thin. Only 4 steps wide, and so it looks pretty much like a facade compared to some of the more modern set. Even though um, it just it's open back, but it actually has lots of depth. But typically, those sets are much more expensive, I would say. I think the challenge for this set is really like you are able to pull it apart without breaking things. I think building it, um, maybe if I leave it for another 10 years, and I'll probably struggle to build. So I need to look back on all the sets on my backlog, because I can guarantee you this year, most likely I will kind of start building my backlog, just because of lots of things happening in life and around the world, which limit my ability to afford new Lego sets. Because I think I need to review my priorities sometimes, because right now I still prioritize on my own um, well-being. Well, to the limit that I can achieve. But I think from April I will seriously need to reconsider that because my interest rate will increase um, by a significant amount. Um, so it will be very unrealistic to even keep the same spending habits because I just got notification that the electricity company is also increasing the price. I'm pretty sure the next thing is the car insurance and every other essential service that you need. Now you must say, hey, you can just cut the insurance. I guarantee you, sometimes when accident happen, uh, it's not your fault. But without insurance, then you'll have to like wait until, well, if the other party is responsible, then they probably will ensure the cost is on them. But it's very likely that it will be a long process. So having insurance, car insurance, will give you the opportunity to just pay. It's not cheap, but rather than paying thousands and you maybe a few $100s, then you can get your car fixed straight away, and all the other stuff will the insurance company will handle it, right? Basically, it's like you're paying for something in case something happen. Just less things that you need to worry about. Because things are going to be handled for you, which will leave you less stress. Um, but yeah, basically there are quite a few things that are quite essential. So can't really can't really cut those, right? And if the you know the price increase, nothing much you can do about it. And the only way is to reduce your spending. Um, that's the only way. Because all the other methods say, hey, increase your income. While it's a good idea that you should continue to think about how you increase your income, but unfortunately, those not going to happen overnight. So, and if you already have a full time job, uh, it's hard to get, um, I guess, stable income outside your main job. So it's gonna be like fluctuates. Sometimes high, sometimes low, and those are all the things that makes it difficult for you to uh, continue a certain habit or certain lifestyle until there's some significant changes in terms of necessary expenses. But I can't control that. Um, I think the only thing I can do is to do my best to cope with it. Hopefully, I can. Otherwise, really want to avoid the situation that I have to liquidate my assets. Right, that would be the worst outcome because some of the let's say collectibles that I have, because it's collectible and discontinued and most of the time are limited editions. You might say, hey, at one point you might be able to get all those back, but I can tell you that like some of them, um, because it's limited, by the time situation is better, then it's something that you can no longer afford. So think carefully before you let something that you really like go. Uh, I learned my lesson on some of the things that I should have kept, but I didn't. And not even selling it, but sometimes there's something already built, and then I just well, deconstruct it, deconstruct them in a way that it's going to be very hard to reconstruct again, and then it just leave inside the container, which is not really the best things. Anyway, let's just focus on this build. So far, compared to newer set, yeah, it does lack some of the details, uh, but it's not like boring. Just that I'm being a little bit cautious in terms of building this. I don't want to end up in a situation where stuff are broken. And other than that, but the minifigures are really nice. So what I wonder like how I feel after finishing this. So what would I do? So building a lamp, and it's only I think another week until it's March, and March has tons of new releases. Definitely getting some of the Animal Crossing stuff because I've been playing that game for quite a while. So definitely want to get those sets. Some of the Harry Potter one are nice as well, but need to prioritize. And then the Senna Formula One, all those really really cool sets. Okay, interesting. So where did I put this? Oh, making a mistake. Anyway, fixed. But yeah, there are quite a few sets that on my wish list. So currently, if I want to buy everything on my wish list from March releases, I need close to 2K New Zealand dollars, which I don't have. So we'll have to prioritize on what I want first. Definitely, I think the Animal Crossing stuff is my top priority. And then, yeah, we need to think about what other things. Because if I buy those, then I'm further away from the Rivendell and also the Ninjago City markets, which I think I have to get this year or early next year before it retires. Because when those retires, then it's gonna shoot up the price pretty quickly. I don't want to buy it quite soon because right now the shops doing discount and stuff. Because after that, I don't think when closer to the retirement date, then it's gonna be harder to have discount. Right, so it's like this. Actually, this is a pretty cool way to create a door. Um, the door handle. Just be more specific. Okay. Yeah, I like the door handle. Yes, so far it's looking good. Although it's a little bit small and not that much space inside, and that's okay. That's really okay. And which side should I focus on it? So it's really not a big set. Just one more bag, but as you know, each bag has a lot more elements compared to some of the recent newer set that I bought. Um, but definitely not. It's not going to take me much time. But I need some water. Otherwise, my throat getting really dry, and then my voice start getting lower and lower. Okay, let's just carry on. Um, yeah, nothing's particular happening in this set yet. But as expected. So where should I put this? This way here. Okay. Okay. So it's it will flip around. Is it? Ah, messed up. Okay. So it's gonna be like this, and going back to here. Okay. Just be extra careful. Not try to apply too much pressure on it. But, sometimes building small sets like this is good because you don't have to spend across a few days. Sometimes big sets can be quite exhausting when building them. And sometimes set this size just about right for an evening build because it's not going to take you too long, nor too short, and it has enough details for you to appreciate afterwards. So yeah. And I wonder like what's gonna happen. Oh shit! And exactly like what I worry about is that I make mistakes like this, um, but it's not avoidable. Anyway, uh, while building this, I already think about, hey, what's the next set that I should build? I don't know. Like sometimes I do want to build the old fishing house because that set looks really good. Originally was supposed to build day one after I bought it, but for various reasons, mostly space. But it's okay. I don't have space now, but again, let's just use it as a motivation. So to reorganize the room is to start opening all the big sets that I have. Some of the massive one like all those roller coaster or all those fairground set like carousel, the Ferris wheel, all those are not yet open. We need to connect these two together. I wish this part is rather than connecting like this is kind of connect in a modular way, but that means that they will have to have a lot more base plates or other plates to represent the water so that it can actually connect together, which will increase the cost of the set, of course. This is going to be quite difficult to pull apart. So yeah, it's probably gonna stay this way unless yeah. But there's some very useful pieces, just that don't want it to be too crispy. You know what I mean? Okay, and you've got two. Need to put two of the studs inside. I think it's an action feature later on. Because when you pull the door, I think it will drop something out. Yes, when you open the door, then it will drop out. There's a instruction booklet telling you what's going to happen. Okay, and then we're gonna start with back two, which is finishing building the building here. Nice minifigure. So this minifigure include like two hunter orc, although it's the same minifigure but have different accessory. One with a big sword, and this one with bows and bow and arrows. Yeah, bows and arrows. Yeah, kind of I kind of find it fun to open some of the set that I kept unopened for so long. I don't know, maybe if I can't find storage, maybe I should keep the minifigure and sell the structure, given that I don't even have time to think about what I want to build. If I want to create my own creations, so maybe should sell some of them just to make more space for all these big sets that I have and yet to open. Let me know what's the best way in the comments if you have some good ideas. Not that I will follow it, but it's always nice to hear some suggestions from fellow AFOLs or adult fans of LEGO. Even though most of the adult fans of LEGO kind of building their own city layout, having really nice display. But hey, if you're a fan enjoying LEGO like me, don't have big space and just have a few shelves to display a few of your own favorite sets, and feel free to comment. because not everyone have their own warehouse or own storage, or even their own room. Right? So I'm lucky enough to have my own room to place my stuff. Well, I love this hairstyle. It's going to be quite useful um, in other situations. And sometimes I do wish I have discovered the brick and pieces, or find bricks from Lego individually. Some of the parts might have been available there, but these are licensed parts, so may or may not be available. Yeah, I think I will finish this quite soon, because really that not much um, to build. To be honest, everything quite simple. Um, some of the smaller friend sets have much more complicated build, even though the target age range is even lower than this one. So I think that kind of interesting, to be honest. I think it's also due to the fact that as a business, right, that you want to continue to evolve, and you can't just be happy on a certain phase. Otherwise, you you probably the business will start to decline. Um, that's why you say, hey, while everything appears the same, but you will notice some really subtle differences or approach on sets that Lego release. Usually within 2 or 3 years, they don't change much. But if you look further than like 5 years, then you will notice a lot of difference. Um, one difference that everyone probably noticing is that, hey, um, Lego has been releasing way too much big sets, because it used to be really one set per 2 months, every 2 months, and it makes it a lot easier to complete the, the collection. So, but nowadays it's like, wow, few big sets, few D2C like exclusive sets, um, 2 or 3 per month. How are you gonna catch up unless you have significant income boost, right? So, and it's not like just 200 or 300 New Zealand dollars. Nowadays, most of them are like 500 plus. And on top of that, we got the normal planet sets from each themes, and sometimes they are really good. And you know, it does mean that the number of sets on my wish list has increased a lot. I think it gets to a point even without the mortgage, right? It was still um, very difficult to afford everything on my wish list. But yeah, that's just in general how I feel about Lego in the past 2 years, especially since last year, right? With the price increase and the number of sets being released, big ones. Because normally in 1 year, well, not normally, but in the past, you do have sets like close to $1,000, but usually just one every 2 years. But last year, we've got Rivendell, the Avengers Towers, and all the other sets at a ridiculous price. I'm pretty sure this year it's going to be worse. It's like, the medieval village, town village, that's 450, and then the Snow White cottage, and that's also 450. It's just crazy, and knowing some of the rumors on what's coming, right? It's gonna even be much more crazier later this year. So um, you know, let's hope I don't end up selling one of my kidney to get my fix for this unhealthy hobby. I mean, it's a healthy hobby, but like if you kind of addicted to it, or having that impulse to get the stuff that you want, and you start making irrational or irresponsible decision, then you can't quite healthy. It's going to start causing lots of issues, not just financially, but other issues as well. So yeah, I need to seriously reconsider or readjust my wish list. Really worrying because some of the parts a little bit flimsy until you actually get it connected. But as I mentioned earlier in this video, I'm not prepared to push things too hard. It's just to avoid damage, given that this set is 10 years old and I only opened it now. Although I didn't like buy it when it first released. I kind of maybe. Well, I bought before it retires. That's definitely because it has a really good deal on Amazon, and that's why I bought this one. I do have the other free sets from this theme, The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. I don't have any sets from the previous Hobbit movie. I kind of regret because I really want that Hobbit house. It's now freaking expensive nowadays. But yeah, I did bought all the 4 sets from this wave. So the big one with the dragon, and then the other one on the battle one as well. So there are quite a few sets I have. So I haven't built those. I only built the smaller sets, and now I'm building this one. So 2 more to go. I'm not sure when I'm gonna build the other 2. But again, these are nice sets. I think, it's going to be good if you combine with other sets with similar structure. Because standalone is not the best set to display, because I think primarily this one is still just a play set, and compared to modern days, the focus on it being an adult collectible is not as high compared to today. That's why majority of stuff is still focusing on the playability rather than how well it looks. Otherwise, you're gonna have a completely different sets compared to this one. We're about to finish. You can see not much stuff left for this particular set. I think building the roof now. Of course, not. I think so obvious, right? That's why sometimes it's like, yeah, no wonder people drop off from the video, because you need to really phrase your stuff properly, so it's engaging enough so people continue to watch. Right now, it's not best. Again, I have to admit. Otherwise, all my video will have much more comments and stuff. But I just got to keep trying, right? So I've been doing this 5 years already. Never at a point I gave up. Most of the time, if you don't see me uploading a video, it's either I'm too busy, or I'm sick, or I decide to spend my time to do some, focus on some other hobbies, like catching up on Netflix. Talking about Netflix, recently, start watching that House of Ninjas. It's actually pretty good. Just 3 more episodes to go. It's quite interesting. I do recommend it if you want to, binge some Asian dramas. I think it will work for even if you not from an Asian culture, because it's directed by. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's like Japanese drama, but with Western production, I think. I mean, primarily it's still a Japanese Netflix drama, but the director is actually non-Japanese, so that's actually quite interesting. Anyway, now building this set makes me really want to have a Rivendell. But right now, most of the places sold out. Have to wait for the next round of stock. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. Some of the sets, especially in New Zealand, once it's sold out, it takes a while for it to restock, and some sets just only got one shot, and mostly to do with the local retailers. But if you go to the certified Lego store or Lego.com, then it will definitely restock until it becomes a retired set. But of course, big set like this, or not like this is not big set, but big set like Rivendell, right? If you get a 10 or 15% discount, that's actually you know quite a lot of discount. Um, so yeah, unless Lego has some like double VIP or really desirable gift with purchase, then I think it makes more sense to buy from local retailers just because it has much better discount. Again, I already mentioned, always try to find the best deal rather than um, having an impulse buy from you know even from local retailers. Try to find the best deal rather than pay full price. Because if you think about it, if you save like $50 from sets that you want, that $50 would be like another small set that you want. So that's why it's important to find the best deal so you can optimize your spend and get more stuff you want rather than paying full price. There are times that I do have to pay full price, or if the set is Lego exclusive, of course, or if I need to reach a threshold to get a gift with purchase, right? For example, recently we have that micro space launcher thing. The threshold was what, 340 New Zealand dollars, which is ridiculously high, and and that's why the other thing is like maybe you shouldn't buy stuff on day one, because most of the cheapest set that I want I already bought, or there's some that I haven't yet bought but it's out of stock online. So uh, it was a mission to get to the threshold, because some of the big set I want that would over the threshold significantly that I cannot afford right now. So it was quite a struggle to find, to reach the threshold. Anyway, just a few things to go before we finish this set. And I've got a few things to do afterwards, so rather than go to bed and take a rest, got a few things to do. And it's Friday tomorrow, so I still have to work. So need to utilize my time smartly. It's the last thing I want is to not having upload on YouTube consistently. Because I mean, it not going to impact that much, given that my channel is not that big yet. But I like to keep the momentum going. Because sometimes you just, if you got the momentum right, then you just want to keep that going. Because if it's gone, then lots of things that you have to kind of build from scratch again. So anyway, okay, I got things right. Okay, and then we have the shooter here. They say, hey, new spring loader shooter. So spring loader shooter is introduced from this stream. I didn't know. And it's good to know. Because at the end of, I think after this got quite common in themes like Star Wars and stuff. Never play with these shooters because by the time I have lots of these type of sets, I'm already um, buying Lego mostly for display and as a collectible. Hardly play with. I'm not saying that I shouldn't play with it. Like you, if you want to play with it, you should. It's just that I don't find the joy playing with it. Most of the joy coming from building the little details and appreciate the details from each build. So it's a crossbow. Um, Talking about crossbows, on the Avatar theme has some really nice crossbow piece. Uh, I only have the set about the underwater, the sea camp from the latest Avatar movie that has that new crossbow piece. Maybe I should do that set next. Because while I'm trying to build like retired sets, I'm trying to build things that is more accessible because I don't free up the space. That is easy to free up first before I can what's the word, before I can reorganize the storage. So yeah, did I miss something? I think I did. And I've got two flat tile. Maybe I missed something, you know? Anyway, this part is so hard to connect to it. It's not the center, of course. Damn it. Okay. Let's see what happened. Yep, I did miss a step. Even small set like this, I made mistakes anyway. But it's not a terrible mistake, so it's fixable quite easily. It's just that I forgot the tiles in front of the house here, so it's just like this is supposed to be this way. So okay, can I go further? No? Oh, okay. Okay. And then we just need to load the spring shooter, and then that's it. Okay. You do get a spare one, and it's very common, so tells you not to shoot at people. Of course, you don't want to shoot at people. And that's it. Yeah, we finished the set, and they also show you like all the other sets. So I bought all of them, just that I haven't build them. Oh, they also show you how you can combine with the set from the previous year. Well, those were long retired. I don't think I will able to afford those because those are quite good looking sets. But here we are. We finished building this set. Looks okay. Of course, it's look quite simple compared to the more recent sets, but it has quite few interesting minifigures. I'm very happy with the result. That I have not break any of the brown pieces, so that's okay. So I'm not, well, touch wood. I haven't break anything now, but maybe when I try to deconstruct it, I'll put it in storage. It might snap or something like that. So touch wood. Let's hope it keeps this way. Pretty cool set with cool minifigure, and can't wait to do the review on this set. Although I do anticipate not much to talk about. I mean, it's a nice simple structure. But anyway, I'll leave that for the review video. But tonight I'm gonna go back up to my room and kind of sort out some of the other things on my YouTube channel. And I'll see you next time.